Why, hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another anime reaction video. Honestly, you guys are all absolutely freaking loving these reactions, and I'm loving them too, to be honest. This guy's channel is absolutely amazing. Ari Kendo makes some of the most awesome anime videos I have seen recently. Huge shout out to him. Loving exploring his channel, loving his content, everything he does. Massive shout out to this guy. Links to his videos are in the description. And a lot of you have asked me to react to his anime trope video, his every anime genre, and let me know, are there any other sort of videos like this from other channels or from him or from anyone on YouTube, any other anime stuff like this you would like me to react to? I'm really enjoying exploring all this, so put your recommendations down below. But yeah, this is actually going to be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how he approaches a topic like this for a video. You know, so far his editing and his like comedic style and everything's been fantastic, so this is gonna be really interesting. I'm excited for this one. Anyway, recommendations down below. Don't forget to press that like button. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. All unblurred reactions are on Patreon, link in the description. And let's jump into my first time ever reaction to every anime trope ever explained in 10 minutes.
Special attack is something that we all did on the playground in elementary school, but it's also a pretty common trope in anime. It's usually found in battle shonen where characters have unique or special powers to fight each other with, and it's a very common trope in manga, mainly because when authors need to show off a power, it adds more impact on the page when the character says their attack. This ends up getting translated through to anime when an adaptation eventually happens. And as cheesy as it can be, there is a legitimate reason for it. In a lot of martial arts, you're taught to yell or exhale while doing a move to fully realize your intent to strike. There's also—
I will say, you do find it interesting that they kind of like justify this sometimes by saying that you get stronger if you name your power out loud. I think I swear there's more than one anime that does that, but it's like if you explain your ability, doesn't Jujutsu Kaisen do that as well? It like makes it stronger, or if like you say it or something like that, it makes it stronger, and that's how they like justify doing it. But yeah, honestly, I'm cool with this trope. This is a fun trope. I'm cool with it.
The Japanese idea of kotodama, which refers to the Japanese belief that mystical powers dwell in words and names. This plays a big role in Japanese martial arts like Aikido, which could explain why anime characters shout while attacking. A training arc in an anime refers to a story arc, usually—
Is Aikido the one that Steven Seagal is like obsessed with and is like is like an interesting one? A lot of like UFC fighters not big fans of Aikido. I don't know. I mean, is that the one I'm thinking of?
Which could explain why anime characters shout while attacking. A training arc in an anime refers to a story arc, usually before a big fight, where the main character and sometimes their group train to become stronger. This usually happens in battle shonen and can often lead to major awakenings in the main character. This trope goes beyond the genre though. DBZ has some great training arcs, but so does Haikyuu. However, training arcs are generally reserved for times when the main character are really underleveled or need to get more powerful for a specific reason. They also can vary wildly in how long they last. Sometimes they're just a single episode, and sometimes they'll last an entire season. It really depends on the show. Moe is a slang Japanese—
Man, we just breezed over my favorite freaking trope. Training is my favorite thing in anything. I've said this all the time. I fucking love it. That's why I love Hunter x Hunter so much, man. The whole anime is like training, and I love that. I really do. My favorite thing. And I may be just a sucker or a basic bitch, but honestly, my favorite thing is you take a weak character, pow, look at this tiny little guy, and you turn him, whoa, into a monster. That's my favorite thing, man. I love it. You know, the character wants to get revenge. The character's like family was destroyed. I don't know, something like that, right? And they're tiny and they're pathetic and it's boo-hoo. And then we watch that character just become better and stronger and faster. And we watch their journey improve. I fucking love that. And I love it in a training arc, man. I'm a sucker for it. Absolutely sucker for any kind of training.
Single episode, and sometimes it'll last an entire season. It really depends on the show. Moe is a slang Japanese term, and it's used in a lot of contexts, so it's hard to authoritatively define.
I don't know what this
Japanese
is.
people generally agree that moe as a word refers to feelings of strong affection towards a specific character in anime. The word is technically derived from the Japanese verb moiru, meaning to sprout. I think this refers to a viewer's experience of sprouting affection for that character. Usually, moe is recognized in the anime community as, well, just cute girls, but don't misunderstand. It's not necessarily sexual in nature. You know, while moe as a term used to be everywhere on the internet back in the 2000s and 2010s, with anime like Lucky Star and K-On! Popularizing that trend, it has definitely lost popularity recently. Tsunderes are a trope.
I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Just like a cute girl? Just a moe is like a cute girl. That's it. Like a young, cute girl. Is that it? That one confused me. Ah, Tiger.
for an anime character that's initially cold, but eventually warms up and shows their soft side. One of the first tsunderes who defined the character trope would be Lum from Urusei Yatsura, so this trope is actually 40 years old at this point. Tsunderes used to be about character progression, but sometimes modern tsunderes are just in a random state between absolutely loving the protagonist or hating them outright. Now the actual
see, when he says tsundere is like someone who starts off like mean and becomes nice, like what we saw with Tiger. For me, like literally what he's saying right now, a tsundere, like especially modern, feels more like just a character who, like he said, goes from hating to loving the main character, like just completely random. No pattern to it, nothing. Just completely fucking random.
The actual translation of tsundere can be broken down into two main words. Sun, meaning aloof or off-putting, and dere, meaning infatuation. And while we're here, I might as well explain the other popular dere types. Yandere uses the Japanese word yamu, which means to be sick, and dere. So basically, this is someone who is sick for your love. And they are characterized by extreme actions, resorting to violence to get—
Someone who is sick for your love. Huh. Like everyone who watches my videos for me. Oh, okay. No, I understand that one. That's you guys. When you watch me, you're just totally sick for love for me, right? Same thing, yeah? Makes sense.
The relationship they want, but I can fix her, right? Kudere uses the English word cool, but it's in Romaji, so it turns into ku. I swear I'm not being racist, okay? This is the legit definition. Kuderes are people that normally seem emotionless, but will show their feelings around the person they like. Dere basically means someone who doesn't hide their romantic feelings at all, so they generally come off as sweet and flirtatious. Dandere contracts the word danmari, meaning silence, and refers to a character that is normally silent or quiet, but become more talkative.
I recently learned dandere. They told me on the stream. This one, and honestly, it might be my favorite. I love like the quiet characters. I fucking love it, and I'm just seeing a certain awesome character on screen right there who and I'm just saying, best girl.
Talkative or other love interests. Now there are technically more deres to talk about, but that could be its own video. The confession trope refers to a moment in most romantic anime where one of the characters confesses to another. Now in America we don't really say I love you, and it's normal to date for several months.
What's this music in the background? Radwimps. Sounds like it, doesn't it? The piano from Your Name.
Before you really say it. But from what I understand, Japan is pretty culturally different. It's actually normal to confess your love pretty early on, sometimes in front of the entire school. In fact, this has an entire word in Japanese dedicated to it, specifically kokuhaku, which literally just translates to confession. Now, confession scenes are usually great and end up being the climax of whatever romance anime they're in, but sometimes that confession can fail. Either this happens because a character rejects the other character, or even worse,
oh shit, that edit! Oh no! Oh no! Why? I mean, who? Who is he supposed to be? What was the deal with the random blue wig there? That could be anybody. That's crazy. I definitely know who that is. Did someone say, what'd you say? Rem? Nah, who's Rem?
Confession can fail. Either this happens because a character rejects the other character, or even worse, the other character mishears the confession, causing a misunderstanding. Now, this is another common trope within a trope, and it's one of my least favorites. Yeah. Filler arcs refer—
That's one of my least favorites as well. I don't like that misleading bollocks. One of my least favorite fucking tropes, which I don't know if it's going to be on this list, is the kiss trope. You know, oh, we're gonna kiss. You know, look, here's my hand. Okay, my hand is some beautiful. It's my wife. All right, and you're going for the kiss. Oh, we're gonna kiss. Oh, okay. And then the door opens. Hey, what's going on in here? Oh, hello. Bonk. Door closes, and then they look back at each other. And they go, never mind, and they just go back to doing what they were doing. Ain't no one in fucking real life doing that. Oh, who even came up with that? That is literally the most unrealistic thing ever. That it would be more realistic for the characters to about to kiss, and then my nose grows, stabs me in the eye, I turn into a chicken, and I fly away into the sky. That's more realistic. There's no teenager in the history of the fucking world has ever gone to kiss someone, they've gone to kiss them back, been interrupted, then they're alone again, and not just immediately fucking kissed. Like, I hate it. I hate it because it is so stupid.
To a story arc in an anime that isn't directly involved with the main plot. Now, this can be confusing for a lot of people who don't watch anime, but this usually happens because while the anime is airing, the manga that it's being adapted from doesn't have enough chapters to keep going, so they have to fill the screen time with something unrelated. This used to be a much bigger problem back in the day when a lot of anime came out on a weekly basis for years. Sometimes the ending to a story wouldn't be finished, so the animation studio would have to make their own ending. This happened with the original 2003 Fullmetal Alchemist, and in any case, most people view filler as negative, as a lot of the times they have nothing to do with the plot, but it's worth noting that there are interesting filler arcs. It just depends on the show and the specific arc. The overpowered main character is a common trope that has recently
poor Kirito, man. Kirito always gets the fucking poster for the overpowered main character. It has, I swear, people who have like seen Sword Art Online realize he's not that overpowered. He absolutely isn't. I mean, he is a little bit, but he's not comparatively to a lot of other anime I've seen. I'm just saying, I don't think he's the most overpowered. I mean, surely Saitama would be number one, right? But that's obviously the meme of Saitama. I don't know, man. Also, I was just about to say, you'd think with filler they'd have like dedicated filler, like full-blown stories instead of random standalone episodes. Because although it's cool to have the idea of like what would happen if your character did this, or they went to the theme park for the day, or they did this sort of shit, and just have these random funny stories, which could be kind of funny. It literally turn into an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The idea of creating like a really solid filler arc, like 30 episodes long, that's actually like a really good story, but somehow is like one of those stories that loops back around to step one, but it's still a very good story. That's like, why don't they do that more?
Emerged, mainly due to power fantasies. Instead of the regular shonen progression of a character, where they get stronger and stronger after more battles, these main characters start off in the story insanely strong, not really having to break a sweat for most battles. Sword Art Online arguably made this trope as popular as it is today, and that's the reason we see it in a lot of isekai. Usually these characters will have black hair because they're supposed to be blank slates for Japanese high school students who can insert themselves into the main character. It is worth noting that sometimes overpowered main characters will still go through a progression arc, but oftentimes it ends up in the same exact scenario. They're going to be overpowered against everybody else. And personally, I'm not a huge fan of the overpowered main character because it removes the tension from fights, but a huge amount of people really enjoy seeing someone just coast through the story, which I think provides a form of escapism for some people. Truck-kun is a trope.
What the fuck is Truck-kun? I actually agree. I do kind of like the overpowered main character. I'm a sucker for it. I'm sorry, I am. I'm not someone who's like massively against the idea of a character just whooping ass. If anything, that sounds kind of fun. All right.
Just coast through this.
And also, I fucking love solo leveling as well. Can't wait for season 2. Did you see Felix, Lisa, Hiroki Sawano? Yeah, damn, that song's gonna be amazing.
Which I think provides a form of escapism for some people. Truck-kun is a trope wherein the main character gets hit by a moving truck. Now, if you don't watch anime, you might think that's weirdly specific, but trust me, it is very, very common. Usually this happens in Isekai Tensei,
what the hell was the deal with that?
Reincarnation to another world. For someone to get reincarnated, they obviously need to die. And since
I'm trying to think of an anime where this happens, and the only anime I can think of isn't an isekai. It is... I don't want to spoil it because it's quite a big plot point, and I don't remember if it was a truck. But it is an anime I've seen, and I'm a big fan of. That's all I'll say.
Most isekai just copy what someone else already did. They end up using the truck to kill off their main character. It's such a common trope that Konosuba, the parody isekai, made a joke about a slow-moving truck killing the main character just from shock. But personally, I don't think it's any laughing matter. Great. To this day, Truck-kun probably has the highest kill count in anime. Truly devastating case. It's any laughing matter. To this day,
does Rudy get hit by a truck? Wait, does Shadow get? Oh shit, freaking... Eminence and Shadow? Huh.
Truck-kun probably has the highest kill count in anime. Truly devastating KDA, if you ask me. And anime characters not having dads is another common trope. Yeah. And sometimes they just don't have any parents at all. This usually happens in shonen series, where we see their mom sometimes taking care of them, but there's no dad in sight. Usually there's not even an explanation to where the dad went, so I'm guessing they're all in the longest line to get some milk and cigs. Realistically, this is probably just a plot convenience, so that the main character has more freedom in the story to go on adventures. I don't really know when this trend exactly started, but even back in 1998, Togashi was writing Hunter x Hunter, where the plot point for Gon was just to find his dad, so clearly it's been going on for a while. The yaoi moment...
Hunter x Hunter is just fucking awesome, by the way. I'm gonna say it right now, it's awesome, it's awesome. I will swear by that anime till I'm dead, man. It is one of the greatest anime I've ever seen. If you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, fuck you, okay? There you go. So good, so good, so good. Will forever be one of my all-time favorite anime ever, man. It is amazing. It is amazing. It's joint number one with me. It's so good. This is a trope I actually hate a lot. I mention this all the time, but it's not just a trope you see, because when I bring this up, a lot of people talk about the relationships with family in Japan, and how like a father relationship is a little bit different, maybe a little bit more strained, but that's also the case in other countries. And you see this tons in American movies as well, where the dad is like at work and he's like, oh, sorry, Jimmy, I missed your baseball game. Oh, I was too busy in the office. Oh, sorry, I missed your birthday. And you see that all the freaking time in movies in Hollywood too. And it's a trope I absolutely can't stand. I hate it that in so many movies, I'm sitting there as a dad and watching all these dads just do this, like make decisions that I just never would. And I hope to think a lot of dads wouldn't, you know, where they prioritize these stupid little things over their child. And you see it all the time in anime, which is why whenever there's a cool dad in anime, Kaguya-sama Love is War, I immediately latch onto them and fucking love them, you know? A Sentence of a Bookworm, Kaguya-sama Love is War, some examples, love it. I love it when you get an awesome dad.
Is a trope that involves two male characters getting really intimate with each other out of the blue. Outside of boys love anime, this is usually played off as a gag and not taken seriously by other characters, and it usually ends up with both male characters getting embarrassed or mad. You'll generally see this trope in light-hearted romance or slice of life anime, and obviously in BL anime. Oftentimes the yaoi moment is about—
I remember when this happened in Attack on Titan, it was crazy.
Teasing a specific female audience named Fujoshi, which literally translates to rotten girl. Sometimes an anime will have yaoi moments or subtext throughout the show without committing to their—
what the fuck was she holding? I just realized what they were grabbing. Bro! You see where that dude's hand is? This is fucking forward.
Rotten girl. Sometimes an anime will have yaoi moments or subtext throughout the show without committing to their full relationships, which I personally hate. Like, there's no way I'm doing this shit with my homies. Just make the characters gay at that point, come on. But I suspect that this—
You aren't doing this with your homies? I mean, me neither. Me neither. Nah, man, I ain't even gonna lie, okay? If you don't homie with your homie, do you even homie, bro? Do you even homie, bro?
Like, there's no way I'm doing this shit with my homies. Just make the characters gay at that point, come on. But I suspect that this is because gay relationships are still pretty taboo across the world.
This is the only way you know.
Especially in Japan.
If you have
it's also worth noting the opposite of—
if you can't grab your homie like that, he ain't your homie.
Where two female characters get intimate out of nowhere, although this is a lot less common. The power of friendship trope is the idea that the main—
That is a lot less common. Huh. I wonder why. That is a lot less common. Interesting. Never thought about it.
Out of nowhere, although this is a lot less common. The power of friendship trope is the idea that the main character's friendships is what propels them to victory. Usually this happens when the main character fails to defeat the big villain until he realizes that he has his friends.
He has his
Sometimes
friends!
It's more about teamwork
the power of love!
Getting together
the
and working
power
to fight
of love!
the main boss. Other times the main character literally just gets a stat boost from realizing he has friends.
Yeah!
And I wish it worked that way in real life. Usually this trope is found in shonen anime,
me
but
too.
you can also find it in a lot of different shows, namely sports. Fan service is a trope in anime where a character is usually in a sexually appealing or compromising position. Basically, they are servicing us fans watching the show.
What the fuck is he blurring out here? Someone's gonna need to tell me what he's blurring out here, so I make sure I never accidentally stumble across it. I don't want to see that. I don't ever want to see what the fuck he is blurring, ever. So let me know what it is, and in that way I can safely avoid it. Okay, cool. Now I'm glad we're on the same page. Also, the power of friendship and love is my favorite thing in anime ever. Like, I can't beat him. Well, you can't do it. We love you. Yeah. They love me. My bros. I'ma fuck this guy up. And he like level it. Man, best thing. I love it. I'm not even joking. I do love it.
It's also worth noting that fan service doesn't always have to be for men. It can also target women as well. Usually this happens in ecchi shows, where the girls in the shows are getting sexualized, and back in the 2010s, panty shots used to be the go-to fan service shot. And it used to be a much more prevalent trope. Practically in every show you could find a moment of fan service, but recently it's definitely died down as anime reaches a much broader audience. The time skip trope refers to a point in the story where many months or years pass for the characters that the audience never sees, or sometimes we'll see with flashbacks. Usually this ends up with the characters looking pretty different and can be a turning point for some stories. An example—
oh yeah, look how different they all look. Very different. Like the second row, the girl with the pink hair, like in the first shot she's like this way, but in the last shot she's like this way. Unrecognizable.
Of a big time skip would be the original Naruto to Naruto Shippuden, which basically just marks two wholly different series.
Alright, luckily I didn't look at that. I don't even want to know. I haven't looked at anything to do with like anything around Naruto. I'm like, so I'm not even gonna look. I don't want to know, because also I feel like even if I see certain characters and I might know they don't make it to Shippuden and that sort of stuff, so I don't want to see a poster. So I'm just gonna look over here, and it is paused on my screen. So I'm gonna press play. I can like in my peripheral I can see it. Like I'll know when the image changes.
series and characters. Another one would be Gurren Lagann, which actually happens in the middle of its 27 episodes in the first season. Personally, time skips are one of my favorite tropes, as they usually shake up the story, making it fresh and more mature.
I kind of agree. I'm a big fan of
anime's
time
most
skip.
iconic tropes, where a flashback happens.
Yeah, man, let's be honest. All right, flashbacks, these are 50-50. Okay? You can do them well, you can do them wrong. I hate to say it, 9 times out of 10, they're done wrong.
To something that was already shown or to explain what's currently happening. Usually in Western media, we look down on flashbacks, but anime is pretty comfortable using them. Generally, flashbacks are more common in older shows, as when everything was being televised, missing an episode meant you might miss some important character development with no real way of catching up. So a flashback can be used in a hype moment to either remind the viewer of the past or catch up a new viewer who's just tuning in. In modern anime, flashbacks are usually used in bigger moments to build up the dramatic stakes of that scene. Slapstick humor is a trope.
That's when they can be good. In like a moment where you have like a 20-second flashback, you know? Like for example, this is a flashback used right. A character is just about to go into a fight or is halfway through a fight and is really struggling. They have a flashback where they remember a lot of things quickly. Remember, cool. I remember all of that. Now that's made me stronger. That's a flashback used right, you know? Because it reiterates the stakes of the fight and what's going through the character's mind. As us as the viewer gets to like just take a look inside their brain, you know? And that's when it's done right. Now, as much as I love this anime, and I feel like it's already a top 5 for me, Naruto is an example of how to do them wrong. And I've heard One Piece is either just as bad or worse than Naruto. There was a fucking 8-minute flashback in a Naruto episode, and it was literally the episode before. They just replayed an 8-minute clip from the fucking episode before. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Imagine waiting a week to watch this, and 1 minute and 30 is the opening, 1 minute and 30 is the ending, and 8 minutes is a fucking flashback, which means you have 11 minutes, 11 fucking minutes of a 20-minute long anime of shit you've already seen!
That involves a person getting beaten
Damn
up.
it!
And since anime is, well, animated, a lot of visual gags end up being impossible in real life. This kind of joke is really common in comedy anime, but is also common outside the genre as well. As a form of comedic relief. A common trope within this trope is smacking someone with a paper fan, known as a harisa, which if you think about it is a literal slapstick. The fan makes a ton of noise but doesn't really hurt. And that's all the tropes I had time for. Obviously, I couldn't go over every single anime trope. Damn near an infinite
Shout out my boy.
I figured I'd cover some of the more interesting or funny ones. Let me know if there are any other anime or manga topics I should explain, and until next time, peace.
I love this guy. Does this guy stream or something, man? I love this dude. I love this guy so much. Shout out my boy, Ari Kendo. Shout out Ari Kendo. Go give him a sub. He's 600 subs away from breaking 60,000. If you haven't already subbed to him, go do that right now. If you don't, then you're just very mean. You're very mean, okay? How do you expect good things to happen to you if you don't do good things to other people, all right? Now, I'm being serious right now, okay? If you don't do nice things to other people, if you don't look out for other people, you're not kind to other people, then why would you ever expect the universe to be kind to you in return? The energy you put out there is the energy you will receive. So be kind, be sweet, you know? Look after people, help people grow, encourage growth. And in that way, the universe will bless you by bringing it straight back to your doorstep as well. I'm being 100% serious when I say that, by the way. Oh my word. Well, this was fun. What is, tropes that I love and tropes that I don't like. It was interesting going through this one. The truck kun is absolutely hilarious. The fact that happens so frequently, it's a trope, is insane. It's actually pretty fantastic. Yeah, man. I definitely feel like some of the ones I like the least would be, which I'm surprised it wasn't on this one, but yeah, the kiss trope bugs me every single time. That one is so freaking annoying. Definitely the that time skip. I do like a good time skip. I can't think of a single time there's been a time skip I haven't enjoyed. I do like a good time skip. I agree. I think time skips can be kind of nice. Fan service is interesting. It depends on the anime, you know, like it really does. For example, Demon Slayer. A certain love Hashira in Demon Slayer is very fan service, you know? Has thighs that would literally crush your skull, and we love them. They are amazing. Very fan service. And even the scene running down the stairs, very fan service. However, Demon Slayer is an example of showcasing a fan service character, very interestingly designed, that never once took me out of the moment. You know what I mean? I would say in anime, it's sometimes you could have like a fan service character who is so overly sexualized that it completely takes you out of any dramatics in that scene. And I found it really weird how Demon Slayer somehow managed to have an incredibly dramatized, deep, and shocking moment with a character who's so heavily fan serviced, and yet I never once felt distracted from the moment, which I find very intriguing because I don't know why, and I couldn't even explain it. But somehow Demon Slayer was able to like choreograph that entire moment where it didn't feel like that. And obviously I'm not saying anything specifically because I don't want to go into spoilers, but you will know what I mean, right? It's strange. I feel like that's an example of how to do it right. I feel like the single scenes of fan service can be good. They can be like take you out of it. It's hard to know which ones are good and which ones aren't good. As someone like me, I'm always a sucker for a good bit of fan service, but like I said, I don't want it to take me out of scenes. Like there's certain anime where it would be good and wouldn't be good, you know, like there's much more serious stories that you just wouldn't really expect to see it in. And then there's certain ways like it works well. Like for example, Bunny Girl Senpai has little elements of it, but obviously based on like the setting, you know, it doesn't go into it too heavy, otherwise it'd be incredibly suspicious. It has little elements of it as well. I feel like there are, you know what? I feel like most of the time with anime I watch, they do fan service right. And a lot of time when they don't do it right, it's because the anime itself is quite cheeky and they're supposed to lean into it a bit more heavily. So yeah, it's kind of a trope. I would enjoy. I enjoy it. I don't know. What would you guys say? What's your favorite kind of fan service? What's your least favorite kind of fan service? What is the one thing in anime that just pisses you off so much that when it happens, you're like, ah, for fuck's sake, and you immediately just want to skip? What is that? And what is the one thing in anime that when it does happen, you immediately just like do the moist critical, woo? Which one is it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. If you did, you press that like button, you press that subscribe button, and if you don't, million years bad luck. And if you didn't, well, I don't know why you watched all the way to the end. Have an awesome freaking day. Thank you so much for watching. What would you like me to react to next? Recommendations down below. And as always, my friends, you right there will see me in the next video.